More than any other live performance art form, stand-up comedy is said to be the most difficult. There is something about putting together your own thoughts and having the audacity to get up in front of a room of strangers and bare your soul. Oh, and make it funny.
Well, I always knew I was funny from the beginning.
I love comedy since I was a kid.
Laughing is very therapeutic, and it's very important for people to, come together, to laugh together, to have a good time together.
Well, I gotta stand up if I'm gonna be funny now. I gotta act like I'm on stage.
Who are these people who risk their emotional lives by doing the daredevil work of triggering emotions of nameless, faceless audiences?
Hi, my name is Natalie. Wait a minute, let me do what? I don't know. Am I looking at Mike or can I look at it? That's why I'm getting confused. I feel cockeyed up here. Hi, my name is Natalie Tyler.
My name is Grace Victoria.
My name is Ash Cash. No relation to Johnny Cash. Sorry to disappoint.
My name is Seetharaman Radhakrishnan.
Which means better luck next life.
What drives comedians to go into this battlefield of potential emotional self-torture?
How did I get involved in stand-up comedy? That's a really loaded question.
It initially started, it was, during COVID time, I was, kind of going through a lot of things personally, and I decided to take a stand-up class.
I saw a stand-up comedy class, an ad for a class.
So I said, you know what? I want to fulfill something on my bucket list. And I said, let me go to comedy school. So I went to comedy school and I liked it, and it just continued to blossom from there.
I loved it. I loved the whole joke writing process, everything about going up there, breaking my inhibitions to go talk in front of public, and I just loved it, and there's no turning back.
I want to say 3 years ago, I hit like a wall in my career. I was actually facing a wall at my job as well. My desk was actually facing a wall. I had just an office with no windows. And I was like, how symbolic is this? So I made a bet with a couple of friends that I'd show up to an open mic, at the beach where nobody would even know me. I had coincidentally also just ended a very long relationship and went up for 5 minutes. And people laughed at my pain. And I was like, you know what? I'm addicted to this. And ever since then, it's just what I've been doing.
Stand-up comedians are not only storytellers, but also reporters of the environment around them. Their commentary is the mirror held up to audiences to help examine the world.
Sometimes you have to talk truth, and sometimes the truth hurts. For some people, I talk about British colonization of India, which is a very strong subject for me. I've had British people in the crowd say, hey, some people walked out, but that's the truth. They did colonize half the world. And I put it in a humorous way. I tell them, you colonized us for bad food recipes because your food tastes bad.
My objective is to make people laugh, period. And if you are hypersensitive, then I might offend you, and being a gay woman, also, I'm not that gay woman who has never had an experience with men. So I get to talk about that as well. I'm not that lesbian where I'm a man-hater. Oh, I ain't never had no dick. No, stop lying, I have.
Wow, I feel like this is like a dating profile thing. Are you sure this is for comedy? And I don't do dating apps, but okay. Anyone here dating? Anyone here want to admit that they're dating? This guy's like kicked him under the table. You guys are dating?
Yeah.
You guys fighting?
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel like comedy should be a safe space for anyone to kind of express the way they feel, as long as they're not really hurting people or going out of their way to put down a certain group of people. But it should still be a safe space for people to express their life and their emotions and their feelings in the way that they see fit.
I speak my truth, and I need the crowd to come to hear my truth. And if that truth does not resonate to you, then you're just not my crowd, or you're not open-minded to accept it.
As a human race, we have been through so much hate. Am I right, guys? We had German hate after World War II, Muslim hate after 9/11, Indian hate after every spelling bee.
Like other performers, stand-up comedians pour their heart and soul into their work, offering it up to audiences for consumption, examination, and scrutiny in order to get a humorous reaction.
You sometimes have to push those buttons. And it may make other people feel uncomfortable when you say certain things, but that's what comedians do.
Most of my comedy, or how I deal with all the scrutiny, is that I know most of my comedy is about my life and what I've been through. I don't get into anything political or not really racial unless it's like, directly affecting me in some way. Moving to America was definitely a culture shock. I am mixed, but I'm light-skinned, so in Jamaica, I'm considered white. And then when I moved to America, they told me I was black. So I went from being told to go back to England in Jamaica to being called the N-word in America. And they always told me, like, when you move to America, if you work hard enough, you can be whatever you want to be. But, this wasn't what I was expecting.
No, we talk shit. And people may not like what we're talking about, but that's what we do. I don't care if you're black, white, straight, gay, Republican, Democrat, atheist, Christian, I don't care what you are. Our purpose as a comedian is to make you laugh.
So, if you didn't notice, I am gay. I told y'all that, right? And, I come from a big family, and it's hard, being gay in a big African-American family. Hello, African-Americans. Come on in. Perfect timing, right?
Some comedians use this art to cope mentally and emotionally, as a tool to wrestle with inner demons. Others as an extension of being the childhood class clown, and do it simply because they like to make people laugh.
I used to wear a Charlie Chaplin outfit when I was like 10, 11, and then I used to be a clown, basically, and I just wanted to get people to laugh at me in small family functions and anything, in any way possible. At that time, I was not thoughtful enough to write jokes, so it was the Charlie Chaplin costume which gave me the laughter. They used to call me Charlie back home.
It just comes from a lot of my life experiences that I have. With my partner, my family. I play softball, so I talk about my softball team, what's going on in the world, whatever I can find something funny about. And I find a lot of things funny because I think everything's fucking funny.
Okay, so, I joined the softball league to stay in shape. I'm holding in my stomach right now, but, once this is over, I'm going to let my stomach go. But to get in shape, and it's one of them leagues, we only won one game through the whole season. But it's one of them leagues. It was a forfeit. Yeah, it was one of them.
Most of my comedy is about my everyday life. So whenever I'm going through everyday things, I have a little notebook on my phone, and I'll just type down ideas. I'm like, oh, that was really funny. Like something that makes me laugh, or actually not even just makes me laugh. If something makes me laugh or annoys me or gets me angry or whatever, and I'm just like, this is just a ridiculous situation, I'll write it down for later. And then, when I get home, I'll see how can I deliver this story or this incident that occurred to me in a funny way for the audience to then relate to. So that's kind of the process that I go through whenever I'm writing my jokes.
Most of my jokes come to me at 3:30 a.m. and I have a phone right next to me when I sleep. I would take the phone, start writing notes, and my wife would kick me because I'm waking her up. And is this always when are you going to write it? I'm not even joking. That's when it comes to me. Something happened last day or something I witnessed, and it will come to me and I'll start writing a joke.
I do write, but I don't write like speeches. I'll write a word or two. A sentence that I want to elaborate on.
And I get really mad at myself when I think of something and I think I'm going to remember it. And I go off and I do something else and then I forget. And then that's, I spend about 30 minutes or an hour just hating myself for not writing it down because the idea doesn't come back.
Stand-up comedy is now at a crossroads where the wrong note, an off-color quip, or a long-ago comment on social media can trigger the wrong response. How can comedians adapt and evolve to this change of a politically correct climate?
It's about reading the room. I'm very sensitive to energy. I don't have crystals or anything like that. I just kind of feel out the vibe, people's vibe. So, I may say something that could be a little controversial, that may not, that will trigger, the Karens of the world, right? Or the entitled rich white man. Those are my favorite hecklers of all time.
With this accent, I have a lot of hecklers. Mostly when you start comedy, you do them in dingy bars, wherever you get stage time, coffee shops, and sometimes you get to perform to a drunk crowd, and when you're having this accent and trying to do jokes, you get heckled a lot. Mostly it's about my accent. We can't understand you, we can't hear you, like, what are you trying to say? And my response back is, yep, I don't even understand my own accent, and it's good for me because I don't understand the voices in my head, so it's working out fine.
I've had one woman in the audience like try to like speak to me, but she wasn't really trying to heckle. She was just having a good time and just like was trying to have a conversation with me. I think I just made a joke about it. I was like, leave all your questions to the end of the lecture, and then she just kind of laughed. But I haven't had like a bad heckler, like an angry heckler before. That hasn't happened.
It's funny, I don't get a lot of them at all, but the ones I have had, what I do is, since the mic gives you power, if you got the mic, you got the power. So, I'll take the mic and say, you know what, we're going to have a open mic for a few minutes, and we got someone out here who's funny, and let's see how funny they are. And then when you get that microphone to them, it's not funny anymore.
And eventually, the audience will decide whether or not they want them to be a part of the show. And so I let the audience dictate that for me. I kind of just take them on the journey with me and see if they can hang. And once you put the microphone on them, they plead the fifth, and that's just the way you get them out.
Because it's not easy getting on stage making people laugh. People on the other side think it's simple, or think, oh, I can get up there, I'm funny. But being funny and making people laugh are two separate entities. So if you give that heckler that opportunity, let's see, come on up here, hey, come make them laugh, do your thing. I'm all for it. But it's different when you put this in your hand. It's a whole different ballgame.
What is it about going deep into the emotional darkness in order to give light?
What is the ultimate goal in regards to happiness? Is that pretty much what you're asking?
For me, happiness is right here. That's where my happiness is. I don't care what's going on around in the world, but my happiness is within who I am and my thoughts.
I'm the kind of person where I like to make people feel better and be a difference in people's lives. So being able to go up on stage and make people laugh, even during times when stuff wasn't really that great and people were going through a lot, like it definitely made me feel good, and I know it made them feel good, which is what I really love about it.
Because laughter is important in this world, and it makes you live longer and look pretty, like I do.
The world needed laughter since its beginning, and I think it always needs laughter. Laughter is the best medicine, and if we cannot appreciate the sense of humor and the lighter things in life, I think everything else just becomes a drag. So now or ever, I think laughter is here to stay, comedy is here to stay, and I'm so happy to be part of this art form.
When we boil down stand-up comedy at its essence, its core, comedians hurt just like you, bleed just like you, laugh just like you, cry just like you. Remember that when you dismiss comedians as just entertainers. They are artists as well. Everybody loves a clown, so why don't you?
A clown has feelings too.
Can I take a picture with you guys? Is that okay?
I joke around at a party when you are there. Yeah. You don't laugh, you don't look, you just don't care. And if you wondered why this clown is crying, look a little closer, 'cause inside